What's up, YouTube? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and I'd like to welcome you guys back to my RC Chop Shop. Yep, I'm back at it again. Here's the JJRC X1, and this is the JXD UFO drone. Now, I already have the screws out of these two things because I am planning on swapping some things. What's the most noticeable thing about this? It's LEDs. If you're familiar with this quad, it has awesome LEDs. The LEDs are super bright, and these rings here on the quad light up. So it's, I believe, blue in the front, green in the back, very bright and incandescent, shining. So I'm looking to get those LEDs onto this JJRC X1 because the LEDs on this thing sucks, and its black body doesn't help it any. Flying this thing at night, it disappears and you don't see anything because the LEDs are only pointing downwards. These little small spots here where the LEDs are located, and they just are not visible at all unless you're directly underneath the aircraft when you're flying it. So I'm going to take these LEDs and try to get them into the JJRC X1. And I'm thinking I was trying to figure out which way I was going to do this. If I was going to have the LEDs just run along here. But it's kind of tricky because the arms on this thing they're like slanted. So I'm guessing when you're pitching forward and you're up in the air, you're probably going to be able to see it very well coming at you. But when it's flying away from you, you're probably not going to be able to see it. So that's the only thing that stopped me from using like regular Cyma panels, LED panels, or any other things that has LEDs. These LEDs are more ideal to me because I think the lighting has to wrap around the arm, and these LEDs in this thing, they're like rings. They're actually LED strips, similar to the LED strips in the JJRC H8C, but I'm kind of fond of my JJRC H8C, so I won't sacrifice that, even though that has the same bright, nice LEDs, red and blue, and a white one too, I believe. But I'm just going to use these here, and yeah, I think I'm going to just wrap them around the arms, or I could go with a strip across the front here and a strip across the back some kind of way. I think I'm going to wrap it around, so let's get into it. So this is what the JJRC X1 looks like with the innards exposed. Now the LEDs are actually plug and play. So the LEDs are here and here. They're little micro sockets there, micro connectors, and two in the back as well. So I'm thinking these wires are pretty long, and so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut these LEDs off the ends and run the wire through, right through the hole where the LEDs stick out. Let me see, I'm going to get me a little screwdriver here and poke the LEDs out of the spots there. Okay, all 4 LED wires are up, and I'm just going to keep as much of the wire as I can to try to give me some leeway to poke the wire through these holes. Looks like they're not going to reach, so I'm going to have to keep a bit of the wire on the LED strips. So I'm just going to clip these here. Okay, so now I think these LED strips have some kind of adhesive on the opposite end of them, so that would be awesome if it would hold and I'll be able to wrap it around, it'll be perfect. Now I am going to have to do some desoldering of the LED strips from the board here. Okay, while I'm waiting for the soldering iron to heat up, I'm just going to expose some of the wire underneath this casing here. Get it prepared for splicing or soldering, whichever I'm going to do. Okay, so I got the LED strips desoldered from the board on this JXD UFO drone. Now, if you happen to be following me on this and doing this mod also, be very careful removing this from the inside of the rings of the UFO drone, because these seem very delicate, and I had to use a prop to pry it loose in order to not damage the LEDs on this LED strip, because all of them are exposed, and there's just some adhesive on the rear end of it on the back, and it's sticking really tight to these rings, so you have to use something to get it out. I chose this propeller. So okay, so I am going to test the LED strip here to see which side is the hot wire, to see the polarity. Now I'm guessing that the red wire, now the LEDs on the X1 has red and black wires. Now these wires are different colors. They're green and white, and we also have, let me see, there's green and white and black and red. So the black and red won't be a problem, but this green and white color, I want to see. I'm thinking that the white, it goes with the red and the black goes with the green. So I'm just going to touch them on there and see if they light up. So the white is the positive and the green is the negative. Okay, I wanted to show you guys what I meant. Now here's one of the LED strips. Now I got this prop in between it and the ring, trying to pry it from against it there. You have to be very careful. Okay, so I threaded them through the holes that the LEDs were in. So if you're following, just run these wires from the ends of these LED strips through the holes where the stock LEDs were at. So as you can see, I did throw a tube of heat shrink on each one of the wires, so once I'm done soldering, I can just heat shrink it. Okay, so I got all my connections soldered and reinforced with the heat shrink. So now I'm just going to put the canopy back together and figure out how I'm going to strap these LED strips on the outside. But first, before we do that, let's plug it in, make sure everything lights up, all my connections are good. Oh, the two rear ones, the rear lights are not lighting, so maybe I got them the wrong way. Maybe the red goes to the opposite side. Who knows? Okay, so I got them all done. They're all lighting now. Apparently, the LEDs, the wires on the rear LEDs were inverted. The polarity was reversed, which is really weird to me, because why in the heck would they want to do that? I don't know, but now we're just going to put the canopy on and figure out how I'm going to set this thing up. Man, it's windy out here. This thing looks awesome. Look at it. It's freezing out here. Just had to come out here and see what it looked like, though. I think it's a light show now. We try to land this thing and get out of here. So that's it, the JDRC X1 Chop Shop LED light mod. Thanks for watching.